Hey YouTube, so we had, I think it was a 2-inch snowfall. You can see it on the truck there. Just for practice I plowed the driveway. If you leave too much snow, on the driveway without plowing it, it just builds up ice when it thaws, so that's what I'm trying to do here. I was using the Simplicity this morning. It's really running good. I'm so glad that I got a chance to fix that thing, so I don't have to worry about that right now. I'm also in the process of getting some kindling distributed a little bit, so that'll give me something to do this summer to get more kindling in my kindling bin over there. Hey YouTube, it may not look like it, but the other day I had gotten let me start from the beginning. I had gotten a question from somebody about what's it like with these people fracking, because apparently there were 3 people that wrote me about this because they have fracking going to take place in their area, or I guess from exploratory gas well drilling or something. Well, anyway, the other day this road, and you've seen my videos, was nothing but a muddy mess. And that wind road that's along the edge right there is nothing but mud, but it's frozen now, so everything's hard as a rock. The thing is they put about 10 more inches of stone in here just the other day when it was muddy, trying to soak up some of the mud. And now that it's frozen, excuse me, all we have here is, a bunch of, it's like a stone road. It actually looks good. It's level and everything and not an issue. But when it comes to the fracking, the trucks run 24/7. The people work 24/7. They work through Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, the New Year and everything. They did not take off. These guys work constantly. So you get the noise constantly. You get the light constantly. You get whatever is going to bother you constantly. The wells that they've drilled so far are not under our property yet, but now they're about to drill 2 more that will be. Now that doesn't seem to affect the property at all. Nobody's complained about anything up here. Nobody's well has gone bad or anything like that. But what's going on is that there's 2 more wells to drill, which means at least I would say 6 months of fracking when that time comes. So you're looking at 3 months at each well of a whole lot of trucks. Now what's supposed to take place here in the next couple of weeks is or months, they're supposed to make the traffic all go this direction down here, and nobody's supposed to come this direction. Now I hope that they're not going to do that to the private people, because that's going to put us 10 miles out of the way to go to town, which is already a 17-mile ride. So we'll have to see what happens. But when it comes to the questions and answering your questions, this is I don't know, this is trying to get ahead in life. This is trying to accomplish goals. This is trying to heat homes and everything else with this gas well. It helps the jobs. It helps the company that runs this thing continues on, pays their dividends to their clients or stockholders, and so on and so forth. So trying to stop it isn't something that I'd want to do. But stopping them from coming on my property is something that I'm interested in, because I don't want them on my property. Now the way that they have this road right now, you can see that the road is about 18 inches higher than my grass. Now when I graded this grassy area off here, it was slightly higher than the road, to give you an idea of how much stone they put in here. They're certainly not going to come here and take it back out, which means I got to adjust to their roadway. And the road is also sloping not towards that water pipe that you see over there, but it's sloping towards my grass, which means that up there where the grade is very flat, there's going to be water laying up there. And depending upon who you talk to, I mean, water causes mosquitoes. You know, mosquitoes lay eggs on that, and then you run the risk of whatever diseases come from that. I'm not personally really worried about that, but nonetheless, it's, you know, it's something that people talk about. The thing that bothers me is that when the water lays there, it kills the grass, and then it makes a muddy mess. So that means that when I try to drive my tractor through here or plant anything or want to just have the kids play in the grass when they come visit, you know, they're getting muddy and stuff, and that's not what we intended. And we also had made a dog path to walk the dog all the way around the outside of our property, and right now half of it has been destroyed by, you know, the roadway. I'm not complaining here about the gas wells, because I think that, you know, this is a good thing for a lot of people, but I'm saying, you know, you can't give an inch when it comes to your own property, because if you do, they'll take a yard, and that's the way it is. So I hope that answers your questions. Have a good one, guys. You know, guys, I wasn't going to add this, but I decided that I think it might be worth the effort and stuff. One of the things you have to understand about the gas wells that make it difficult to control is this. Like for us, a company by the name of Seneca out of New York is the ones who own the wells, I suppose. They're the ones who get the leases, do the drilling, you know. I mean, they sub everything out, but they're the main company. So when you're dealing with them, Seneca is owned by National Fuel Gas, which is a very big company, and they've been paying dividends forever. So they're a good company as far as business goes. The problem isn't so much National Fuel Gas, and it's not really Seneca. The problem is when you end up having all kinds of people driving back and forth on the road who are subcontractors to Seneca. The biggest problem that we've had is with a lot of the truck drivers who don't seem to care whether they drive on private property or not. Now that's a problem we've been having, but it all depends on, you know, what company's doing what. For instance, a neighbor of mine who you know, lives down the road, he had problems with his driveway. I made a video about that, where they had the right to use his driveway. They were letting him use his driveway, but they said when they were done, they would, you know, put the driveway back into the condition that it was. Now here's the story with that. The gas wells are basically Seneca, but when it comes to distributing the gas, like the gas going into the pipe and heading down the road, that is owned by someone else. So the gas company, I think, is owned by Tennessee Gas or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You can check on this to verify what I'm saying. But Tennessee owns the gas line, and then they subcontract somebody to put the gas pipes in. Those are the people that give you the most trouble. The ones that you look around and you don't know who is running what. So anyway, what happened with my neighbor with his driveway, and it's 1,500 foot long, what happened was they, you know, were using the driveway with all kinds of trucks, all kinds of tractor trailers, heavy equipment and everything else. And when they were done, they did not do what they said they were going to do. Now, I find National Fuel Gas and Seneca to be the most upstanding as far as doing what they say they're going to do. Now, I had some trouble here with the trucks driving on the grass and all, and I told them, you know, I'm not out to make a killing here, I'm out to get my grass back. So they did what had to be done to restore that for me. Now, I'm seeing that this is not going to be something that's just a once and done thing. This is going to take more than once and done. And I'm assuming that they know that. And I don't have any problems. I have no complaints other than the road gets to be a disaster. You know, but what they're fighting right now isn't, it's not that the people fixing the road or maintaining the road, which is not the township. They've sort of given that to the gas well industry. So the gas well actually maintains the road better than the township ever did. However, they're up against Mother Nature here. One day we have temps in the 40s and the road thaws and it's a muddy mess. They come and they put stone on it, okay, and then the mud is sort of, I can't say it's absorbed into the stone. It's more or less what you could call hidden. It's still there, but it's kind of hidden. Okay, so 2 days later, you get a freezing temperatures in the 20s. What happens? The mud under the stone is frozen solid. Now, you get some snow. Okay, now they got to plow the snow. So what happens is the stone that they just put down yesterday, because there's a snowstorm today, is getting plowed up because it wasn't compacted. Okay, it's like loose stone, so they don't make more mud. So this is one of these things where they put the stone down on the road to soak up the water, or to, you know, to distribute the water so they can have a good road. But when it freezes solid, they come back with the grader after a snow to grade the road off, or not the grader, but the snow plow. And when they do that, they dig up this same stone that they just put down. And then that stone has to go somewhere, so it keeps encroaching on, you know, private property or other property. Because they can't really, with a grader, you can't take stone with a grader unless you have a V-blade and move it a great distance. It just, you know, goes to the side of the blade depending upon how they angle it. But the point is here is that they're fighting nature. And this year has been horrendous with rain and stuff, and this winter has been just as bad in that you get thawing temperatures, then all of a sudden you get snow, you know, 2 days later, and they have to plow the snow. It picks up the stone they just put down, and now they need to put down more stone when the road gets warm again. So it's a never-ending cycle right now, and that's what they're up against. If it would stay frozen all winter, this road would be no problem, but it hasn't been doing that. That's the problem. Have a good one, guys.